Oh well, I kind of have been having this like sort of self-imposed jet lag, wherein my 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 internal clock is still set to going to bed at like 7 a.m. and I've just kind of made no effort to really change that. So instead, we've been staying up till 7 a.m. and waking up in the afternoon. It's been pretty rough. But yeah, I was told that there's actually a word for it, Ireland lag.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like when you go to Ireland from like somewhere else in Europe, and then when you go back and you have to kind of allow your body to catch up to the rest of the world. So, yeah. Oh well, the first one was pretty stressful because it was the first time I was doing. It's not technically a surround sound show, but I'm splitting my signal 5 ways and sending different parts out different directions and stuff. And it was my first time doing it, and I wasn't even thinking I was going to do any shows like that until I'd had like 6 months to really rehearse it and prepare it, but I figured I'd just give it a shot. So it was pretty stressful, but people were really, I was expecting like when I went off stage, people were just going to be like, boo, but I thought it went okay, and yeah, and it was really loud. And rang. Yeah, well, it was pretty unique because, like, I didn't have my keyboard with me or my projectionist or anything. I was just like going out and had to kind of fill an hour with just looped violin, and I was like really, really happy with how it went. And we talked to the sound man. We want to bring him on tour with us again, but I don't know. It was something really special. It was a really special moment, and because I went in really excited about the show, but like having no idea how it was going to turn out. So. I don't really have that much luck. Usually when it comes down to it and I really have to kind of like get myself in shape, it usually goes really bad.
Yeah.
But that was like a real exception. That went really well. Oh, yeah. Well, I'm kind of shutting it down now, working on other people's bands because it's really taken up like an entire year of my life. I've just seen it kind of like disappear, like instantly, and it's just been working with like when I started the year, I was working with a Toronto singer-songwriter, Dan Goldman, and doing string quartet arrangements for his record. And then I started working on a large-scale orchestral project, which I eventually scrapped because I was starting to get too stressed out about it. And then I started working on, and there was the Arcade Fire record as well, and the Beirut record. And now I'm working on Alex Turner, the singer for Arctic Monkeys. He sent me a record that he and the Simian Mobile Disco guy, James Ford, recorded together. And they wanted it to sound like a David Axelrod record. So I wrote all these orchestral arrangements and then produced all the brass parts. Very adult things, things I'm not used to doing. And now I'm like, the whole reason I'm over here this time, in addition to, visiting the Foggy Notions people here, is that I was going to go over to London to conduct these sessions at Abbey Road.
Wow.
So I'm spending my afternoons working on those scores and conducting along the MIDI tracks. So I hope it goes well. Yeah, well, it's ridiculous. I mean, it's a year and a half since my record came out, and I've written maybe like 7-10 new songs. Like, my productivity on Final Fantasy has really gone downhill just since I got involved with other people, and which is good and bad at the same time. Like I want to be able to do both. So. Well, I've got these 2 EPs now that are both about 75% complete. I just gotta sing some vocals and mix them, and one of them's it's a field recordings record, songs that me and the Beirut guys recorded outside and kind of like hodgepodge it together. And the other is a big band record, which I've written and scored, and I'm just going to produce those sessions in late January and see how that goes, which is all cover songs of a songwriter I really like from Toronto called Alex Sikashevsky. And both of these are kind of warm-ups for the Heartland record, which is going to be kind of a combination of both. It's going to be a lot of big band recorded outside. So I don't know if it's going to work or not. I mean, I'm still going to wait and see how it works, but I really want to make a record that was recorded with a big band entirely outside and just see how it works. I mean, I'm really into. I think there is kind of like more musicians using big band orchestration and kind of doing it like that, but at the same time, I still feel like Matthew Herbert is like a really good example of his big band records. And I kind of want to make one, but make it really, really not clean. I don't want to make it slick, you know. I want to make it really crazy. So we'll see what happens. I shouldn't even be talking about it, really. No. It's so much better when it's just like Radiohead are just like, yeah, our new album's coming out next week. You know, people are like, what? And then everyone's album of the year. You know, if they had been talking about it for a year, then, you know, probably wouldn't have gotten the same reaction. I really like the new Jens Lekman record. It's really killing me. And there's a lot of bands from Canada that have just made awesome records this year. The Acorn record is just amazing. And there's a band from Toronto called the Bruce Peninsula who are blowing my mind. And the Luyas, also from Montreal. Miracle Fortress, really good. So, bands you'd know. Well, I like Jens Lekman's record. Yeah. I haven't really been listening to too much new music this year, but
just too busy.
Well, yeah. I mean, I've been listening to other people's records. You know, like obviously, I love the new Beirut record, but it's probably just because I've listened to it more than any other record this year. You know, so.
That's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Nice talking to you.